Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I'm going to be sharing my recipe for Baigan Choka. Now, if you guys remember, way back when I first started my channel, I already shared a Baigan Choka recipe. But that day, the weather wasn't permitting me to go outside and use my grill to make it, so I had to use my oven. Now, the oven is a great way to make it if you don't have access to a grill or an open flame, but you're not going to get that same charred taste that we all know and love with the real Baigan Choka. So, since it's nice outside today, I decided I would go ahead and do the Baigan Choka on the grill, just revisit the recipe, revamp it a bit, and give you guys the best version of Baigan Choka that I can. So to all my Guyanese peeps out there, leave me your comments in this comment section below. How many of you guys remember waking up on a Saturday or Sunday morning and your grandmother had hot Baigan Choka and oil roti ready for you guys to eat? I remember memories like that when I was younger and I used to visit my grandmother, and listen, she still does the same thing when I go to visit her now. So if any of you guys have any memories like that, leave them in the comment section. I'd really like to hear them. So let's get into the recipe. The ingredients that I'm going to need for the roasting part of the Baigan Choka are of course the baigan or the eggplants, and I cut the stems, the top stems off of the baigan. That's just my preference. If you wanted to, you could leave them on though for the roasting part. I also have some tomatoes here, some hot peppers, some wiri peppers. If you wanted to, you could use the habanero or the Scotch bonnet peppers though. And I also have some garlic. All of my ingredients and measurements are going to be in the description box down below. I'm going to show you guys the other ingredients that we're going to use to finish off the Baigan Choka after I'm done with the roasting part. What we're going to do first is we're going to put our tomatoes in some foil wrap, as well as the hot peppers, whichever kind of hot pepper you decide to use. And then we're going to go on with just a little bit of oil. This is just to help them in the roasting process. Then what you want to do is close this up. And I'm not adding any seasoning, salt or pepper onto this. I'm going to do all of that when it's done roasting. Now for this next part, you want to go ahead and stab little holes into the baigan and twist your knife just a little bit when you stab the holes, so this way your garlic can fit inside. What the garlic is going to do is it's going to help infuse the baigan as it cooks. I finished poking the holes into each of the baigans, and I was shoving all of the garlic cloves in each of those little holes. And I just went ahead and I wrapped each baigan in a piece of foil, and now we're going to go out to the grill and start roasting them. Once your grill has come up to temperature, what you're going to want to do is put the baigan on the grill as well as the parcel with the tomatoes and the hot pepper, and you're going to allow these to roast for about 20 to 25 minutes or just until the baigan gets soft. What you want to do is every 5 to 6 minutes come in and rotate the baigan, so this way it doesn't overcook on one side and not cook on the other side. So I'm going to close my grill and allow this to cook. If you wanted to, instead of wrapping everything in foil wrap, you could have put the baigan as well as the tomatoes straight onto the grill, so this way the skin could get those actual char marks on it. I just prefer to put it in foil wrap because I find when I put it in the foil wrap, it's easier to scrape out the meat without getting too much of those charred bits inside the actual Baigan Choka. But if you prefer to do it that way, then go ahead and put everything straight onto the grill or your open flame. My baigan and tomatoes took exactly 25 minutes to cook on the grill to get nice and soft. What I did was when they were cooked through, I took them off of the grill, allowed them to cool for about 5 to 10 minutes so this way I could handle them a bit better. And then what I did was I removed the skin from the baigan as well as the tomatoes, and I added everything into my bowl. As you guys can see here, I've started to mash everything with my potato masher, and I'll show you what to do next. Once you've mashed up the baigan, the garlic, the tomatoes, and the hot pepper, it's time to go over all of the other ingredients that we're going to use. I have some very thinly sliced onions, I have some scallions that I've sliced up, I have some salt to taste, and I have a little bit of oil to help me chunkay the Baigan Choka. At this point, we're going to go and add in all of our ingredients into this mashed eggplant mixture. What I'm doing first is adding in all of the thinly sliced onions and scallions on top of it. And you want to slice the onions very thin because they're not really going to get cooked. The hot oil that we pour onto this when we chunkay the mixture will just heat the onions through a bit, so you want to make sure they're pretty thin. We're also going to go on with some salt to taste, and this is so that it starts to infuse the flavor when we pour that hot oil on. So let's go on to the next step now. Right now I'm heating up a few tablespoons of oil on a high heat, and I'm waiting for it to come up to temperature. I'm going to wait about 5 minutes for it to get hot. Once it starts to shimmer on the outside, that's how you know that the oil is hot enough. And then we're going to go ahead and chunkay the Baigan Choka. Once your oil comes up to temperature, you can go ahead and pour it all over the onions and the scallions and your Baigan Choka. Once you pour that oil over and it's done sizzling, you can take a spoon and start to stir it really well. And once it's all stirred, you're going to go ahead and give it a quick taste for salt and make sure the flavor is to your liking, and then it's ready to serve. Now I hope you guys enjoyed this quick and easy Baigan Choka recipe. I hope I made it as simple as
as possible, and please be sure to like this video, subscribe to my channel, and make sure to leave your comments down below. I'll see you guys again in another one of my awesome recipes.